a large black man and a slender blonde, blue-eyed white girl. All my girlfriends in college envied me. I shared with them how good the sex was. Trey even told me that a few of my girlfriends had tried to sleep with him. Trey, if hanging out with other women makes you happy, I'll allow it, as long as we're always together. I know he has flirted with other women, but as far as I know, he has always been faithful to me. Even after we were married, I was always afraid that one day some more attractive girl would steal Trey away from me. Trey, do you love me? Look at me, I'm so fat. Kelly, you're pregnant with twins. I know you're going to be a little bigger than normal, but it's okay. We'll go to the gym with you and get you back to your old shape in no time, he laughed. Please, Trey, don't ever leave me, I pleaded. The twins are now 5 years old, and our married life together is everything I could ever dream of. I love my husband more than I ever imagined. Our sex life is incredible. I don't even worry about some chick stealing my husband from me anymore. So if I'm so happy, why did I decide to have a lover when I have a man who could pleasure me the way Trey does? Because he wasn't enough for me. One day at work, I met a new employee named Thomas. He was very prim and proper. I liked his British accent. He was not my type of man, small, only 5'6". Well, small for my 6 feet. He was skinny and not all that muscular. He might have weighed about 150 pounds. He was good-looking, but not black like I like. So why was I interested in him? Because he was so smart and intelligent. I'm not saying Trey's dumb. No, Trey is a financial advisor, and he makes a very good living. In our family, money is not an issue. But Trey is not as smart as Thomas. And what is it about Thomas that makes him so attractive to me? Well, everything. He knows so much, and he likes to learn, and he continues to learn. He also enjoys teaching others to broaden their horizons. There is so much to learn and see, he always tells me. You know what they say, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. This man had a sexy mindset that I liked. Before that, I didn't realize what I was missing. I've been having an affair with Thomas for the past 4 months, and I think Trey knows it. Life in our house has become different. I stopped going to the gym, and now I read more. I tried to share my books with Trey, but he had no interest. Kelly, what's going on with you lately? My beautiful husband asked. Nothing, Trey. I'm just interested in reading right now. I can't put my books down. I've tried to share them with you, but you're not interested. Trey picked up the book I was reading. Astronomy. Since when are you interested in astronomy? Trey, it's more than just astronomy. There's so many things I don't know. Like what? A friend at work told me just a few little facts, and I found his facts, intriguing. For example, did you know that people can't walk in a straight line without a visual point? If we are blindfolded, we end up just walking in circles. That can't be true, Trey said. I took the scarf I blindfolded Trey with and watched Trey run into the wall. He did walk in circles, and that's exactly how he hit the wall. Then I said, a sloth can hold its breath longer than a dolphin. What is a sloth? Trey asked. I was starting to get frustrated just talking to Trey. Trey, did you know that Australia, known for its vast landscapes and unique wildlife, is even wider than the moon? Who cares? Was Trey's response. I do care, I yelled at Trey. I went to the bedroom and slammed the door shut. Trey is not a shallow man, and I do love him. I just wish he was smarter like Thomas. Trey slept in the guest room, and I felt awful. So I decided I had to make it up to him. After that night, I tried not to let myself get upset. It wasn't Trey's fault that he wasn't as smart as Thomas. But I loved Trey. He was the father of my children and a great lover. I needed him to realize that there was someone else in my life now. I tried to be the best wife I could be. I didn't want to lose Trey. I didn't want him to find out about Thomas. I'd already made the mistake of saying, a friend at work told me just a few minor facts and I found it intriguing, instead of the facts themselves. Like I said, Trey's no fool. I'm sure he knows things have changed between us. Is he just learning to accept the fact that there could be someone else in my life? Can my beautiful big black alpha husband be an asshole? Does Trey recognize that there is someone else in my life that I need? Does he realize that there is something missing in my life, and Thomas can make up for it for me? No, that's just silly, or is it? I knew it couldn't go on like this. I needed to be open and honest with Trey. Trey needed to understand his role in my new life. Besides, Thomas and I were going away together this weekend, and I wasn't about to let Trey ruin my plans. It was Thursday night. The girls were at my mom's house, and at 5:30 Trey walked into the house, walked into the kitchen, and saw Thomas and I sitting at the table. Trey had a sad look on his face. He knew this day was coming. "Trey, please sit down. We need to talk," I said the words that no man wants to hear. "Trey, it's Thomas." I saw tears in Trey's eyes, but I wasn't about to change my mind. "It's nice to meet you, Trey," Thomas said, and extended his hand for a handshake. "Kelly's told me a lot of great things about you. I've got some suggestions I'd like you to take a look at." Trey looked flustered as he shook Thomas's hand, but I thought it was a good start. Maybe Trey would come to terms with having another man in my life. Deep down, maybe it was his fantasy. Seeing me with another man made me happy. "Trey," I said, "Thomas and I have been dating for 4 months now. I know this may come as a shock to you, but you need to know that I love you, and I want us to be together and see our children get married and have children of their own." "I won't stand for it," Trey said. "Trey, you don't have a choice." "Well, I guess that's the way it is. You can either accept that now there is Thomas in my life, or we can divorce. If we divorce, you know I love you and would never stop you from seeing the twins, but the house would be mine. I'd get half of our assets and you'd have to pay child support." "Don't forget the pension," Thomas said. "You'll give half of it to Kelly." "Thank you, Thomas. Look how smart he is, Trey." "I see you two have already thought it over," Trey said sadly. "Yes, we have, and we hope you accept our relationship and your new role in our lives." "So you just expect me to let you do whatever you want with—" He looked at Thomas. "With Thomas!" I shouted. "His name is Thomas! So what now? I just sit at home and watch the twins while you two do something?" "Trey, we wanted to give you time to realize what we're asking of you. The twins are staying with my mom for the weekend, and Thomas and I are going to spend a few days together in New York." "Trey," Thomas said, "New York is an incredible place to visit. New York has tons of activities and interesting places, museums. Oh my God, museums cover all areas of culture and knowledge. There are world-famous art institutions like the Met, free museums, interactive museums, and exhibitions. Did you know that Pablo Picasso is said to have uttered the phrase, 'For me, there are only 2 types of women, goddesses and doormats'?" "Is Pablo the mathematician?" Thomas and I both laughed. "Oh, what does that even mean?" Trey said. "Trey, please don't embarrass yourself. Just listen to Thomas. A major new exhibit at the Museum of the City of New York explores the love-hate relationship with New York City through the lens of visual art, television, film, music, theater, literature, and fashion. The exhibition, timed to coincide with the museum's centennial, is on view in Manhattan through mid-2024. As the museum celebrates its 100th anniversary, it explores several themes related to This is New York, the city's powerful cultural energy in 1923, the 5 boroughs as a constant inspiration for creatives, and New Yorkers' complex relationship with the city of grime and glamour. "I have to see this. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event like this, and I'm taking Kelly with me, damn it." Thomas stood up and pounded his fist on the table. And then Trey stood up. All 6 feet 5 inches and 250 pounds of him, Thomas fell to the floor. "Thomas, are you okay?" I asked, as Trey helped Thomas up and sat back in his chair. "Let me be clear. You're taking Kelly to New York. You're going to museums, maybe a play or two. And as for the Hayden Planetarium, I'm sure Kelly would love that too." "Yeah, I guess so," Thomas said. "Sporting events?" Trey asked. "No, I'm not into sports," said Thomas. "Bars, nightclubs, strip clubs, tranny shows, whatever else you're into." "No, that's not what I'm interested in at all." "Trey," I said, "I'll watch sports with you. I'll have sex with you like I always do. I'll even go to a strip club with you and you can watch." "Trey, you know I love you, but I want to go to New York, and I'm going to get it. I'm not going to let you ruin that for me." "What have you two been doing for the last 4 months?" Trey asked. "Trey, you wouldn't understand," I said. I'm not going to lie, Thomas said. I take Kelly out to lunch at least 3 times a week and introduce her to the best food our town has to offer. Trey, I said. I've had tuna eyeballs and deep-fried tarantula, a Cambodian delicacy, ant egg soup and jellied moose nose, which I didn't like, but I tried it anyway.